Hello, Ashley Pfeffer here, coming live to chat with you about your light, about how you shine your light, about how to shine your light. I wanted to show you all different places in your chart and in your profile that are going to indicate different things about your light. Now remember, we are all light beings in a body. And the more we work with gene keys and human design, and the more we align with our design, the more we're able to unlock more light. And Richard Rudd talks about how the more you spend time in contemplation, the more you have mindfulness and awareness and allowance of all of the different gene keys that make up you, the more you can achieve that pathway to breakthrough, and the more light you can unlock into your being so that you shine brighter. So if you are hopping on live, say hello. If you're watching the replay, type replay. And for those of you that are on YouTube, welcome, hello. I'm so glad that you are watching this video. So let me first, I want to just get right into it. So I'm going to pull up a gene key chart. I'll pull up my gene key chart so you guys can see that. And I want to show you the different parts of your profile that are going to talk about your light. And your aura has a lot to do with what is expressed externally for other people to feel, see, sense. We don't have a light that most people can see with their physical eyes, right? It's something that's sensed. And some people's auras are just very strong, very intense. For example, if you are a generator, particularly a 5-1 profile, you guys have very strong aura types. Generators typically have a all-encompassing aura that seems to hold the whole room. Projectors have very intense auras, and they are going to just be able to laser focus, zoom in on you, and you're going to feel their intensity of depth of attention. When their attention is on you, you're going to feel it. And depending on what frequency they're vibrating at, it could either feel very jarring. It could feel very like, oh my gosh, what are they doing in here? Like violating. Or it could feel provoking, or it could feel liberating. It could feel very heartwarming. It could feel like you're very seen. Projectors are very great guides. If you're a projector, say hello, raise your hand, type in the comments. If you're a generator, let me know as well. Thank you, everybody who's hopping on. The reason that I'm actually doing this live is because I was making a list of all the topics that I wanted to speak on. And if you guys have seen my post in Your Life by Design, I asked, does anybody know anything about 144? And I left it pretty general. And Richard Rudd talks about the 144,000 in the 44th gene key. And I love the 44th gene key. It's about pattern recognition. It's about karmic relationships. It's about the people that magnetize to you. And it has everything to do with what we're talking about right now, too, our light. And what makes people attracted to our light? Do people have resonances where they vibrate at the same frequency and maybe they have the same feeling? Their light feels the same. Have you ever known somebody and then somebody else has the same feeling? You're like, oh, you remind me of someone. Maybe they're vibrating the same. Maybe their light feels the same. They feel the same. There's some kind of resonance. Anyways, so that's kind of what prompted me, is that my son came up to me. He's like, Mom, can you tell me how to speed up time? Because he really wanted my mom to come over, and she was going to come over at like 3:30. And I was like, hon, you just need to be enthusiastic about what you're doing right now, and it will make time speed up. The more you can get into play and fun, the easier it is. And the time that he asked me, this was 144, as I was writing my list of the things that I wanted to speak on. And I was like, okay, here's the sign from the universe that I need to talk about this 44th gene key, our light, our aura, our frequency, our vibe, and basically our beacons, like our lighthouses, the light that is attracting people to us. So here I am talking about it. So we did mention manifestors, projectors. I'm sorry, we talked about generators and projectors. Now we're going to talk about manifestors because I keep wanting to say manifestors. So manifestors have really big, intense energy. The more you know who you are and you're in alignment with yourself, the stronger your aura gets. And I feel like there's a lot of manifestors out there who know who they are and will tell you who they are. They're here to inform. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing, right? If you're not aligned with their vision or where they're going, then you have to get out of the way. And it can be a very abrasive energy. And a lot of people feel like they're too big. And a lot of people try to shut down their too bigness, right? They're just too much, too big. And if that is what's conditioning them in childhood, they start to obscure their light. They start to turn it down. I have a client who's a manifestor, and we just did a custom meditation together for her about turning her light up into aligning with herself so that she could know what does your aura feel like? And how can you step more fully into that? And how can you turn it all the way up? Have you ever felt the magnitude of your power, right? And I feel like light and power is interchangeable. We use our light. It is our power. And it is what attracts people to us. So if you're obscuring your light, if you're dimming your light, then all the people out there that need you are not going to be able to find you. So manifestors, we need you. We need you to step up, step into your power, and let your light shine. So we talked about generators, projectors, manifestors, reflectors. Reflectors are going to reflect your light, show you who you are. It's beautiful. And so that's just all I'm going to say about the reflectors. Yes, you guys have your own power. You guys have your own light. And the reason that people are attracted to you is because you're just the mirror and you're showing them who they are. So you have a very important job reminding people who they are, reminding people of their light. So it's very beautiful. Okay, so let's look at the charts. Let's look at the charts and look at your oh, I don't want to do a poll. No poll. No poll, Be Live. I want to share something. Okay, here we go. So we're going to share my Gene Key profile. And I love the new Gene Key profiler and all the information that it gives and that it shares. There we go. It's making me smaller. Okay, so moving to the profile. So I wanted to talk about a few things in your profile that are kind of going to show you things about your light, who you are, how you show up. The light that's going to attract relationships, that's going to attract clients, that's going to attract radiant health, stuff like that. So all of these are actually parts of our own energy, our own light. So everything here is light. It is light. Everything's light. So, but there's certain key players that are going to help you work with your light, work with your aura, work with your power. I feel like aura, light, power are interchangeable. They're the same thing to me. There's just varying degrees of like where that light is showing up, what's the source of that light? Basically the source of the light is a little bit different. So, first of all, for your aura is your attraction field. Right? And there's two different parts of your design that allow you to work with this attraction sphere, this attraction field. And that is your feminine and your masculine. And when your feminine and masculine can come into this synergistic union, when they can come into communion, teamwork, they are able to really just amplify this attraction sphere, change the frequency so that this light, your auric light, your magnetic attractive field, is pulling in people, relationships, circumstances, conversations of a high vibrational level. So the more you are in communion alignment with your masculine and feminine. You feel whole, you feel complete, and so you're not attracting people that situations, circumstances, whatever, that are to give the illusion of you need me to feel whole, or things that are going to provoke you. You know, you're going to be matched where you're at. And sometimes we get people that are attracted to our light and they're in a different frequency than us. It's just to show them what's possible and to kind of give us a doorway to help them up. We're never up here on the ladder and we always have to turn around and bring other people back up, right? It's not about getting to the top. It's about rising together as a collective, right? Because we're all one. We may be in separate bodies, but we are all one of the same. And so we want to make sure everything is in the same frequency vibration. And so when you come to meet with somebody who is a different vibration or needs a little bit of help from you, you're to help bring them up. Just by being in your aura and make them, you're going to catalyze. People who are in the acidic frequency are automatically going to raise the vibe of the planet. When you get the gift in the acidic frequency, you start creating other people's lives, whether you're directly interacting with them. It's really cool and amazing. So the parts of your, so the masculine and the feminine part within yourself, and you can find those in your profile. Bella and Melinda did do a course on the Sacred Union, and that talks about how do you find your masculine profile, how do you find your feminine, work with it, what do they mean, just getting really in-depth about this print, because it's really important for us to have that foundational level to and create this inner stability. So your masculine and feminine create your inner stability, and this is what kind of pops off your attraction sphere. We're doing the attraction course on the 17th of October. If you're interested in doing that and working with that, definitely reach out. There's tons of stuff in the group that'll point you in direction for how to sign up. But your attraction sphere is your aura, and I feel like people magnify to that you because they can light, they can sense what vibration, and it's almost like the universe just brings you guys together. Because if we're not working on our own stuff, versus going to bring things outside of us. The macrocosm is the same as the micro. So externally, the same as what's going on in. So whatever you're going through in your life, it's just a reflection of what's going on inside of you. So this is kind of what is happening in our attraction. The more we work on ourselves, we're going to crystallize, refine, and catalyze big transformation in the attraction sphere. The attraction will begin to act higher vibrational experiences, people, opportunities like that. Especially if you're in alignment with your design. When you're kind of to be somebody else, like looking into comparison or competition, you are comparing yourself against someone else's light, and that's not going to do anything for your attraction field, because your attraction field is a really different than else's. It's really important for us to all inward and understand how to work with our energies, our own mind, so that we can catalyze this, aligned purpose and magnet field for ourselves. Another thing that has to do with your light is obviously your radiance. Your radiance, light, hello. So what happens here, this is has to do with your health, radiant health. Anytime you're in the shadow of the sphere, it affects your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual being. And so radiant is force energy as well, and it is light. And so when you are operating in shadow, and it's not just shadow, it's shadow everywhere, it's all connected, it'll start to affect your emotional, mental, spiritual well-being, and you will start becoming dull, dim, obscured. And your shadow is going to tell you what happens when you are not at optimal health? What happens when you're compromising? And that is, and then how to bring yourself back into alignment, back into, you know, the gift frequency. And the way that we do that, how do we unleash more light? Working with this pathway. We have the pathway of challenge between our life's work and our evolution sphere. If we can shift ourselves out of the shadow that is created with this biofeedback loop, we're able to unlock radiance, unlock light. And this pathway of breakthrough will hit through our SQ, which if you look at this chart, it's the center point. It opens our heart more. And then the whole purpose of this journey is to open your heart more. Because when you are illuminating light from your heart, it is magnetic. It is just super abundant, all-encompassing. Like it's abundant because it's just pouring from you, because it's our direct connection to source. And when you are able to open your heart completely, you're no longer using your life force that is sustained from food and stuff like that. You're no longer using your ki or your chi or whatever it is that is produced from food intake and force and your own might and your own will and your own drive. You are using like divine will. You are using universal love. You are using all the acidic frequencies just pouring out of your heart. But to do that, we have to break down all the boundaries. And how do we break down all the boundaries? We get through the pathway of challenge. And it's not about fighting. It's about putting down the sword and shield. And it's about softening. It's about opening. And when we can do that, and we can get into diplomacy, humanity, shifting out of conflict and turbulence, we open ourselves up to this radiant light that will then be unlocked from our DNA. They say that we have junk DNA. And Richard's hypothesis is that this junk DNA actually holds a lot of our light. And when these junk DNA come online, it just unlocks and unleashes all this light into our being. And then it starts catalyzing and transforming our lives. So the more you work with your activation sequence, the more you unlock more light. And remember, as we're unlocking light, we have to ground it. We have to anchor it. And so how do we do that? We work with the pathway of core stability. This is going to create stability for you to be able to root in, anchor in, so that whenever a storm comes, it's not going to blow you over. It's not going to take you down because you keep anchoring in. You keep rooting down deeper. Think about a sapling versus a 150-year-old oak tree, and they get even older than that. The 150-year-old oak tree is going to be able to withstand the forces of nature, the stuff that is coming to you. And it is through these forces of nature, through this turbulence, through this turmoil, through these storms that we face in life, that we began to overcome them and root down deeper, because we need that rain. We need that contrast to ground deeper. Because if life is just full of rainbows and sunshine, which rainbows can't come without rain, so we need that anyways, we wouldn't be able to learn these lessons so that we can ground it deeper and we can become more fully aligned with ourselves and who we are. And remember, you need to strengthen your spine, soften your body, open your heart, and speak your truth so that people can feel light, see your light in alignment with your design. That's how it works. And so this is where a lot of light gets unleashed. This is where a lot of light gets unleashed. So your radiance, your SQ, your attraction sphere. What else is there? Your culture sphere. Your culture sphere is like a lighthouse. It is there so that you can attract your allies, the people who are going to support your mission, and the clients, the customers, the beautiful beings and souls that are coming for you to help them shift. And how are you helping them? You're going to have teachers who are teaching you these frequencies. You're going to have teachers who are reminding you of the shadow. You're going to have teachers who are showing you the possibility. And you're going to have people that you are then teaching. So this is the light of your lighthouse. It is the beacon that is people who are lost at sea to you. And then you are helping them by shining your light. They come to you, and then you show them where their light is. Right? And this pearl is this deep, deep, deep inner light. And once you can kind of, and not force the clamshell open. Remember, the oyster will open on its own. And when it opens on its own to show you and illuminate your pearl, boom, catalyzation of all of these. This is called the pathway quantum something, I don't even remember, but it's going to create quantum leaps in your vocation, in your culture, in your life's work. But how can you get into the pearl sequence? You have to go through this anchoring process, this unleashing of your lights, this amplification of your attraction sphere, this refinement of this frequency so that you're attracting the right people. We're always attracting the right people at the right moment. But are you attracting like higher vibrational experiences? Because the more you do the work, the better your experience. I feel like we're more aligned, and so in that alignment and awareness, we get to increase our bandwidth. So maybe we're only vibrating at 100 looms luminosity, and we do more work, and we're like, 200 looms, 300 looms, a billion looms, and we're this immense field of light, and people that are crossing over on the other side are going to mistake us for the light, right? And we go to the light. That's how it is. So it is important. We are coming into this expanded light field, right? You can obscure your light all you want, and you can repress it, or you can do work, which the whole blueprint, the whole journey is laid out in this process. You can do the work and unlock and unleash more light. You have this like sleeping beauty DNA, and you're awakening it. And through this awakening of your DNA, more of your light comes online. Sources like, she wants to shine brighter. He wants to shine brighter. They want to show up brighter. Because the brighter you are, the more you're going to start attracting people. It's like whatever's the brightest is where all the flies are going, where all the insects are going to come, right? It's like, I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go that way. We're just looking for the brightest light. And a lot of the times we're looking externally for that light so that we can be reminded of that light internally. So remember, you shining bright is going to then bring people to you so you can remind them of their light so that everybody's showing up unobscured, in their glory, in their light, illuminating all of their glorious essence into the world. That's just how it works. So we have the radiance sphere, the attraction sphere, the SQ, the culture sphere. Same thing with your life's work. Your life's work is like how you're showing up. It's your brand. It's how people see you. So it's like the light of your business too. How you're showing up there. How are people interpreting your light, right? Let me see if you guys have any questions. Thank you. So helpful. I'm so glad. Let's see if we can pull anything else up. I'm going to pull down my gene key chart, and let's pull up a human design chart and look at it from that aspect. I love the gene keys because it's like the whole journey, the whole blueprint just laid out before you, right? So I think the most important thing for you guys to understand is this not self and the signature and the inner authority. So when you are not operating in alignment, you're going to be met with this not self theme. This is what's going to tell you if your light's not turned on. Because it's like, hold on, I'm going to take a break for a second. I'm really frustrated, right? And you're going to just be, instead of radiating light, you're going to be like radiating frustration. And people are going to feel that agitation in your aura. It's no longer like this peaceful, like, oh, here's this beautiful, wonderful light. It's like, I'm pissed off. I'm either angry, frustrated, bitter, surprised, or what is it? Dissatisfied. Yeah, no, frustration. Frustration generator, anger manifestors, bitterness projectors, and the reflectors are disappointment. So we could have, these are our indicators for when our juice isn't juicing, when we're not illuminating out, right? We're like, oh, and that's because we've gotten off a little center. We're just off a little bit. And how do we realign ourselves? We have to ask ourselves, like, where am I forcing? Where am I in shadow? What's showing up for me? Look at the mirror. Look at where you are trying to force, trying to go in a direction that you're not supposed to go in, comparing, competing, right? That's when we're going to get off center. We have to remain centered and follow our own path and follow the cues of the universe that's flowing us and guiding us. We're following our own internal authority. So your inner authority, your sacral authority, if you're a sacral authority, that's going to show you and lead you and guide you. If you're an outer authority, you have to be very attuned to the external world and the signs around you. You need to be a pattern recognizer and be able to understand what the outside world is telling you. If you're a splenic authority, you have to listen to your inner voice. If you are a self-projected projector, you have to speak your truth and hear it through your ears. None of this like mind chatter, mumbo jumbo, where you guys are staying in your mind. You got to speak it. Speak it so you hear it, right? And then gauge the impact that other people have in response to what you have said. If you are an emotional authority, ride the waves of your emotions. When they calm, you will receive clarity. So if your emotions, boom, get turned up, ride that wave, get clarity when they're done. So you're like surfers of the emotional plane. What other kind of authority is there? Anyways, so follow your inner authority. That's what's going to let you get back into center and allow you to shine your light again, shine it brighter. Your light's always on. It's just sometimes we want to hide. I see you second line people, you hermits wanting to hide. You're always going to get called out. You can do the inner work and go hide and retreat and relax, but it's about finding balance. It's about finding balance. So know when you need to have that solitude. Know when you need to reset. Know when you need to decondition. And we all need to decondition because we're working with other people. We came here for relationships. And we don't want to mistake their light for our light and then try to align to their blueprint. We have our own individual blueprint. We're here. We chose to be here to fulfill a particular mission, to have a particular experience. And when we're trying to shove ourselves into somebody else's box, that's not doing anyone good. It's about you understanding what your design is like and aligning with that so that you can have the most impact, share your wisdom from a place of, I know how to get into alignment. I know how to create core stability. I can be that anchor, that core stability for other people. And then open my heart, come into altruistic giving, and then fulfill my purpose on this earth, right? It's this journey among the activation Venus and Pearl sequence. And so the more you take these trips around the sun, trips around the Gene Key Golden Path journey, the deeper into this understanding and into this alignment you get with yourself. And then the more you unlock this light. It's a beautiful process. Okay. So, no authority. No authority means outer authority, my love. So you're going to be looking externally, following the 28-day cycles of the moon. And you're going, parts of you are going to get activated and turned on during that 28-day cycle. I wanted to share with you guys as well a super awesome, cool promo that we have going on right now. All of our courses that we have created are $55. And you can find it, and I'll post it at supportyourdesign.com/courses. All of the stuff that I'm speaking of, we have created already. Plus this amplified attraction course that we are putting on next week. And it's going to be amazing. So we're going to be working with our light. We're going to be understanding how to manifest. And we're going to be talking about our sexuality, our sexual wounding, our sexual liberation. and it's going to be 4 live calls. You're going to get a PDF, and it's $55. If you join after October 13th, it's going to be $99. So we have early bird going on. These are the courses that I have available, and I wanted to make you guys aware of them, because if you're looking to learn, to deepen your understanding of your own design and to align with your design so that your light shines brighter, it's the first step always is about understanding your light and understanding what does your energy feel like by itself in its reset point. Because then, as an empath, you are going to be able to recognize when somebody else is in your aura, when you're taking on somebody else's stuff, and you get really sensitive to your own light. And when you're sensitive to your own light, you know when somebody else's light is coming in, right? And you know how to get to 0 point. You're going to understand how to set boundaries, how to dissolve and resolve codependency. You're going to work through your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, and put together a self-care routine. This is all about empowering the empath within. So if you're interested in that, take a look at this. I do still have a special. So if you are interested and you want the promo code for that special, it's 50% off for a very limited time. And you can contact me for that. We have the Sacred Union Blueprint. This is about finding inner stability. And it's through love of your masculine and feminine coming together. And so how do you create this sacred union within yourself? And in looking at your human design profile, what is the archetype of your masculine? What is the archetype of your feminine? And how do they work together to come into communion? And what happens when they are not in resonance and they're in friction and your masculine and feminine are wounded? Right? And how can we resolve that? We have a leadership toolbox coming into your beautiful divine light and how you show up for yourself to give yourself guidance, then give others guidance. We have, not the flow workshop. I will talk about that though. Then we have line design, which we just did. I love this course. It is chock full of amazing stuff. And I feel like it is going to help you deepen your understanding of your design because it simplifies it. Instead of these 64 keys we have to learn, we have 6 lines. And you're going to still use these 6 lines to contemplate your 64 keys, right? It has a 50-page workbook, which is amazing. It has contemplation questions for you to look at. It was just an awesome course that just came through us. And then I have get in the flow of your design. So again, this is about getting into alignment. It's about working with your life's work sphere, because that's what's going to tell you when you're out of flow, when you're in flow. It's going to talk about how we dim our light, right? Because I was talking about your inner authority or your outer authority if you're an outer authority, and how we use that to get back into the flow. And then I have awesome, actually not 2 guided meditations, I have 3 guided meditations for you to help you get in, ignite your creativity, and also reset to your original design. And this is energy work, energy healing, meditation activations. So those are the 5 courses I have available that are like instant replay. And then we have our amplified attraction course that will be coming up on the 17th of October. So those are what we have available to you. I would love to have you guys join us on the live Amplified Attraction Sphere. It's going to be awesome. I am so excited for it. So do you have any questions about the courses, about what we talked about, anything that kind of popped up or catalyzed for you to want to dive in deeper and contemplate? What has this brought up for you? You can type them in the comments. I'll stay on a little bit longer to see if you guys have anything that you want to share or have answered. Another beautiful way for you to work with your energy is to consistently, sorry, my internet's a little bit wonky right now, but for you to bring your presence to the present. So when you feel yourself scattered a little bit, you are just going to bring your energy all back to center. So this is a great practice to do You just use your breath to breathe all parts and pieces of you back in, and it's going to clear up your energy, and it's going to magnify and potentize your light so that you are shining with like the highest luminosity, because you're not fragmented, you're not spread out. So you're just pulling it in with your breath, bringing your presence to the present, centering and grounding yourself. And it can be super quick. So I am super excited for those of you that are already joining us for Amplified Attraction. And I am very happy that I was able to share this with you. And I hope that you dive deeper into this and that you show up and you shine your light. Okay? If you have any questions, pop them back in the comments and I will get back to them. I am offering gene key readings at the moment as well. So if you want to get one-on-one sessions with me, you can reach out to me and we'll set something up so we can dive deeper into your design. For those of you that are really new with this, I would definitely recommend a foundational reading so we can kind of go over everything with you together so that you understand the different spheres and that you know how to walk the pathway. For those of you who are interested in like deeper level of work and more long-term one-on-one stuff, I'm offering like Golden Path Journeys, where we go through each sphere together, and then I will do a guided meditation, activation, energy, healing, clearing, cleansing with it as well. So there's about an hour session, and then I create a meditation activation with each of your spheres. So it's going to be over the course of 6 months to a year, depending on how fast you want to work through it. And I'm only taking a limited amount of clients for that right now. I have 3 clients I'm working with right now, and I probably can only take on 2 more. So if you are interested in high-level coaching and in-depth journeying into your keys, reach out to me about that. Okay, so I am available. I am open to you. My aura is open for business. So whoever is pulled in and attracted, I have something for you. So just start the conversation. Okay, have a wonderful and lovely rest of your day. Bye.